Not sure if there's anybody out there, but if you are out there, please feel free to chat. I'm just in my studio painting. Just because I need to get this finished more than anything. It's taken too long. Actually quite difficult at the moment, trying to get these darks in. And yeah, it's proven quite difficult. We'll get there. All this background area needs to be quite dark. Just some green highlights. I don't want it to be black, so I'm mixing the black in. Just smoothing it out. Very gently, no rush. This is probably the hardest part of the picture so far because it's just managing to make it look right. I just have to keep working at it. Like I said, if you're out there, please feel free to chat. Just set the recorder going just because I can, really. And maybe thought it might interest you. Hello, Valerian. Yes, no, I didn't actually know that. I have done a Jaguar once. I've done a small pastel pencil picture of a Jaguar and a graphite pencil. That's really all I've done. But what I'm doing right now is trying to make this water look correct, and it's very difficult because it's a very dark area, and there's not really a lot of highlights to grab onto, but we'll just keep going. It isn't until I get the foreground in that this is probably going to look like water anyway. hopefully. This is one of the odd occasions when I'd use my fingers just to smooth everything in, because I want it blurred, because it's the background water. Kind of all educated guesswork in some ways. And then what I'll have to do is go over all these highlights again. I quite like how this looks when it goes on, because it's grabbing the tooth of the paper. It's actually too prominent. So I'm having to blend it down, which is a bit of a shame, but you know, you've got to make it look right, haven't you? If you can, anyway. This is the hardest part, trying to find the colour you want. Let's try this. Blend that down. Mute it down a bit. Just adding in random colours. Well, not random colours, but colours that are there before I end up defining it at some point. Yes, Vermilla, I was blending with my finger. Naughty boy. Very occasionally I will. It's not a habit though. Yeah. It really is, for me, the most awful part of the picture that I'm doing. I really want to be down here, but this has to be done, unfortunately. Yeah, I have no idea what type of tiger this is. Could be a Kellogg's Frosties tiger for all I know. That's how much I know about tigers. So I'm just, well, really just planning out the way. I'm just putting dots where I think they should be at the moment, and then it'll be a case of refining it as and when I believe I should. Because it looks very odd, because it's in isolation. Well, not quite isolation, but not as it should be at the moment. Nothing else to give it context. But there will be, hopefully. I think when I said, yes, I was blending with my finger, I'm going to defend myself now and say I was smoothing out, not blending. I should have been a politician. Get a different tone of yellow. A little bit behind the ears, very important, because that'll make the ear stand out. And then what I can do, if I can find my little piece of black that I had, that's typical. Oh, here it is on the desk. Yes, pilling. That's exactly what I was doing. Yeah. And then I can just bring out the darker hairs over the top of the bright part here, look, and make him stand out against that. Just darken up the areas I need. And that is a very brief explanation of how to get 3-dimension. You just have to keep working at it there. So just make that stand out like that. But this is going to become very frustrating, I think, because I need to get it dark enough in here, but make the grass or whatever it is. Well, it's not grass, but I don't know what it is. But I've got to try and make that look flat. And it won't look flat until I've got some context into it. You just keep working. I'm going to put some little dots in here where they should be. Just because I can. Do you notice how that went brighter then? Because I cleaned the pastel. Clean the pastel, you get it brighter. I find it quite hard because I've got the light in my eyes as well. All looking a mess at the moment, but there are ways that I will refine it after I've done as much as I want to do. Down here is going to be interesting because here there's maybe a slight wave with where he's moving. So I've got to try and define the highlighted part and the wavy part. That'll be fun. It's all done by these different tones of yellows. Gonna get a little bit of his reflection in here. A little bit more of him, which is going to be darker. This has actually been the most difficult oil pastel painting I've done so far, for a few reasons. And the thing is, I think tigers are quite easy to do, but this one hasn't been. And it's because I'm using oil pastel. Just darkening up this bit and this bit, because I want water to stand out on that. No good trying to go fast when you're doing something like this. Just won't work. Just got to do it one step at a time. I'm using the Montmartre Classic Signature and the extra soft Montmartre. Not the best choice I could have done for this particular picture, but I wanted to do a picture in them, so this was next on my thought list. So that's just how it happened. Wasn't a constructive decision, and now I realise probably the wrong decision, but there we go, hey ho. It'll come right eventually. Just might take a little bit longer than if I'd used a better oil pastel. Not that these are bad, it's just that they're not perfect for this particular job. Because all this that I'm doing is actually forming the background for the whiskers when they get hit, which will be right at the end. So you've got to kind of try and think beyond what you can see. More suitable, I think, almost definitely the Caran d'Ache and possibly the Hall one. Sennelier would have been too soft for this. This is just my opinions. You know, I just think that I wouldn't have got the detail that I want with Senneliers. I could have done with the Caran d'Ache and the Hall ones for definite. All a bit of a suck it and see, really. And cross your fingers and hope. You can see I dart all over the place when I paint. I just don't. I do a little bit in one place and then I might dart over to another, trying to make it look right as to what I want it to look. I am actually using one Caran d'Ache. That's this one. And the reason for that is because the very colour that I wanted for the whole background of the Montmartre ones, I've lost it. I went to art groups the other week and yeah, I've lost it. So I had to get the closest colour available, so I only actually had one. And that was this particular colour. Which isn't perfect, but with the addition of a little bit of black, I can make it better. all this area here is going to be like that. Only probably a little bit more detailed, hopefully. I'm actually finding it quite difficult, and that's the honest truth. Well, wouldn't be anything else, would it? Please feel free to chat if you're out there. Actually, a little bit difficult. Part of the reason is because the reference I'm looking at goes out here. So I'm trying to chop it off. I'm not finding that the easiest thing to do at the moment. But we'll get there. Right. Let's find this. Let's try and put a little bit of this in here. Oh, that's that bit dead. No. Very difficult, this part. Very intricate and detailed. Sometimes it only comes together afterwards. Right. Finding a suitable colour. I think we're going to have to go for this one. This is very definitely not the way that a lot of people would oil pastel, but it's the way I do it, and that's how we get the detail. But it is very time consuming, and it is very difficult. I suppose that's the best way of putting it. This part I'm doing here is not like the reference, it's just similar. So I'm in a position where it's so highly detailed, there's no way I can get this done in oil pastel. Well, I mean, there would be, but it'd be too far time consuming. So I'm just getting the look. As best I can. And then defining it as best I can. Just look at making it look as close as I can, really. I'm using that Etival Clairefontaine paper that I mentioned to you all. That one. Only in a much bigger size. So this is quite a massive picture. I say massive, it's not massive, but it's big. And I'm not expecting this to look very good at the moment. It's a case of working it and then just getting to the point where you can define everything. And then hopefully at that point it becomes good. If it doesn't, then, well, start again. No, not really. I think it would make me have a nervous breakdown if I had to start this one again. By far the most difficult I've done so far in oil pastel. There you go. That's how you improve. Or so they tell me. There you go, diversifying again, look. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Yeah, you take care too. I'm only in here because I can be. Not a lot on this afternoon. Which sounds great, but... Okay, right. We need some black in here. If I can find my soft black oil pastel, I do have a tendency of putting them down and losing them. Here we go. Extra soft, yeah. Right. I'm full of little tricks. I'll show you another trick in a minute. Sometimes it's a case of trying these tricks and then just seeing if they work out for you. So I'm going to get another cotton stick. Haha, thank you. They will one day. Doesn't always work with this carton stick, but normally don't use it quite as much as this for something like this, but I think on this occasion I needed to. Right. Aha. Yes, absolutely. So let's pull out some detail, shall we? If we can. Doesn't always work. Sometimes you have to go back in with the white. I will come back into this again at some point. I won't leave it like this. Always refining. Right. Let's just put a couple of little highlights in there. Oh, thank you. Well, just been bought a cup of tea. Is it they don't care or they don't know? I think there's a lot of them don't know, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. As I said, I'm just trying to make this look as good as I can. This will never, ever be like the reference because it's just too highly detailed for that. But we get it as good as we can so that it looks right and so that it doesn't detract from the colour of or from the look of the picture. Hopefully. At some point I will be going back into this, and that's a whole different thing again. More techniques that I haven't shared as yet, but I will be at some point. Right, that's as good as I'm going to get that for the moment. Just going to go into here, get a slightly harder, bigger silicone brush just to put some black into here and negatively draw the shapes that I want to see. I will have to darken this up a bit more though, in between the hairs I mean. This has certainly been one trying picture. My picture of the boat, the one I used for the banner, was so much easier than this, but more highly detailed, believe it or not. Right, that's that bit for now. If anybody's enjoying what they see, getting any tips or anything like that, that's fantastic. Don't forget that if you wanted to, you can contribute via a super chat. Because there's no need to, but it would be really nice to help the channel out if you can. But I don't mind. Right. Yeah, well, it's all a case of just getting better, isn't it, as you go on. This has been very trying. It still remains to be very trying, but we will get there. Once I've got this far, I will not give up. Hopefully, in the next picture, I'll do something a lot easier. It doesn't help that you get all this extra crumbs kicking around that go over your picture, so that doesn't help. You have to keep cleaning that off. Oh, right, A4. Yeah, I think this picture has got to be at least A2, I would think. Yeah, I'm not sure what it would be, but it's probably about the size of 4 A4s. Oh, that's kind. Yeah. Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad I was able to help. Right. What bit am I going to do now? Let's have a look. I think I'm going to do is to try and just outline the reflection now as much as I can. And see where we go with it. So again, this won't be perfect. It's a case of you have to refine it as you go along. Yeah.
Have you had my tin of thin black pencils? No. I had a tin, a green tin, didn't I?
What's in the cupboard?
What cupboard?
In the cupboard where the old camcorder used to
That's
be.
what I thought, but I can't see it.
Right. It's either there or in the drawer, darling. All right, I see. In all honesty, I just paint to whatever size I feel the picture can be done in, or whatever size I feel I want to paint in. So we've got that, and then we've got this round here. Let's colour this bit in. This is just the underneath background reflection. There's plenty more to come. I'm trying as best I can to miss out the white parts. It's not very easy. Putting all this in, it might be that I have to adjust it, more than likely. coloured over some white bits deliberately. We'll pull them out later. Right. Now, I am using my finger on this bit because it's a background bit and it doesn't matter. Actually, what I need to do is add a little bit of black into this to darken it up, which I wouldn't have had to do had I have not lost my other green, which hopefully will come back to me when I go to art group. With any luck. Right. Do you know, Valerian, I think every single picture is a experiment. I mean, there's no right and wrong way, is there? You just have to do what you think is right at the time. This is another one of those fingers crossed moments in the hope that I can get what I want. I know I'm blending by finger, but that's it's okay in this instance. I'm okay with it. As I build up the layers, I will reduce that. Yes, this is so far the biggest oil pastel picture I've done. Most of them have been probably about an A3, no, bigger than A3, but not as big as this. And yeah, it's very time consuming. I didn't actually think it would be quite as time consuming as it is, but there we go. Nothing ever good happened overnight, did it? I'm just going to keep building up until such time as I feel that I can start either pulling out detail or scratching out detail, whatever it is I need to do at that particular moment in time. As long as every session I have something that is improved, then I'm kind of happy. Doesn't always be the case, but more often than not it does, thank heaven. It's very kind of you to stay with me all this time. I used to have somebody to talk to. But please feel free to leave when you want. You don't have to stay here for me. Hello? I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to call you all by the names that I see on the screen. So at some point, hopefully you'll give me all your names and I'll know exactly who I'm talking to. It will take a time, I'm sure. Anyway, hello after 40 art. And if I'm right, you're living in America. Am I right in thinking that? Or you are Canadian or American? Something recently that I saw that you said. Valerian, I don't actually know where you come from. But because you used the word A4, I'm going to guess that you're in the UK. Not that I know. But, yeah, sorry, this is a very slow process. Drop in and out if that's what you want to do. If you don't, then obviously it's nice to have seen you here in the first place. And hopefully with every time that you come, you'll... Oh, hello, Kat. Oh, yeah, that's right, Denmark. I remember... Yes, I do remember that. And the reason I remember thinking that was because I followed, or still follow, but I haven't seen him for a while, is a chap called Demusi, who does ballpoint pen art, and I do that as well. And he sounds like a Cockney, but he lives in Denmark. And that kind of resonated with me with you because you sound American, if I remember rightly, but you live in Denmark, and I thought that was quite odd in Denmark, actually. I thought to myself, why is everybody moving to Denmark? What am I missing? Anyway, Kat, I will try and remember that. Ah, right. Okay. So I'm right in thinking then that he dragged you to Denmark instead of you dragging him to the USA. Yeah. There are worse places to be. Not that I've ever been. And it's amazing that you can hear me because obviously I can't hear you. I can only see what you're writing. It's really fascinating. And kind of the first time I've done this properly. Not that I'm doing it properly because this was just a case of me sitting in my studio. Yeah, I think that was a good case of running from there, especially nowadays, eh? Not that I know much about politics. Don't know much about anything apart from art. Right. Ooh. Hi, June. Nice to see you. Well, in writing anyway. How are you today? Right. Let's have a look here. Let's add some black down here. I'm having to draw, or paint if you like, beyond what I can actually see. So everything I'm putting on here is kind of background, because over the top of all this is going to be some huge whiskers. So I'm having to put this part in here and this part in here, kind of a mishmash of colours, but obviously it's got to look right. And you know, that's not easy to see, really. But hopefully we'll get there. These are the hairs off of the tiger's chin. It's kind of a case of you can't see details, so you just have to kind of put the colour in and hope it looks right. And it should do. You won't notice it too much when you draw over it. But of course it's got to look right anyway. Oh, shopping. Lovely. Did you get me anything nice? That's lovely and sunny here. It's been beautiful all day. I love it when the sun shines because I've recently had solar panels put on the house. And I don't want to pee anybody off, but over the last 2 days, I've actually, by the time I take off the solar panels and what I've earned from them and what I've used in electricity, I've used 27 pence. It's been that sunny. So, but yeah, I'm happy. You can tell. It's about time I had a little bit of luck. So you see, I'm just firming up the colours with this colour shaper. And then just blending it all in. Because the other thing I've got to look at is I've got to then try and get the detail in here as well, because the whiskers do actually cover that part up as well. Oh, raining. Lovely. It's absolutely beautiful here. Well, it's getting a bit dull now because we're getting towards the end of the day, but this time tomorrow night, wow, should be awesome. Doesn't it always rain in Blackpool? Never been to Blackpool. I kind of like this steampunk stuff, and I think they do a lot of that kind of stuff up that area. So you never know, one day I might end up there. Not that I've been to one yet, but oh, in Greece, wow. Yeah, I am a bit cheeky sometimes. Wow, Greece. So it's lovely and bright in Greece, is it? You can see I keep going over bits, especially dark bits, because sometimes like the white gets mixed in with it. You can't be away from it when you're doing detailed work like this. And there is ways, but of course that'll come in time, and I'll let everybody know. But you have to try and just bring back the darkness of the black. Oh, right, that's good. That's good. Wow, what we got for dinner tonight then, June? My wife's cooking me a roast, from what I believe. We've kind of decided that we'd have it on a Saturday. I mean, there's only me and my wife at home now. And we're finding that she'd done it a couple of times on a Saturday and it was really, really nice. Much preferred it on a Saturday to a Sunday. So she's now doing that. I expect I'll be getting shouted at soon. I'm not going to do this for much longer. I'm just going over and just trying to tidy things up a bit by smoothing out some colours and getting rid of dark bits that I don't want and lighter bits that I don't want as well. It's a case of slowly. Chicken curry, wow, that's my favourite. How dare you? I love curries, absolutely love curries. The one I really like chicken curry is Home Pride. Love a Home Pride chicken curry. But I have to have the whole tin to myself because my wife doesn't like it. And the funny thing is, it was from her family when we were courting 40 odd years ago that I actually got to know of it. Yes, that's teenagers for you. My teenagers have gone, which is a little sad in some ways. But there's more problems now than what there ever was. They've got their own adult lives, and of course they come running back to mum and dad, don't they? Oh, just put a bit of dirt in there. So easy to do. Look at the fingers. If I'm missing something or not following the chat very well, please excuse me. It's quite hard to paint and read several people's chat, so by all means remind me. Takeaway as well. Oh, God, I feel like I'm missing out on life now. Chicken curry and takeaways. Never mind, my wife's a brilliant cook, so that will be very nice. I'm pretty sure of that. It always is. I'm just smoothing things out, just taking my time, trying not to get colours in where I don't want them. Always looks better from a distance. But unfortunately, I'm that way inclined that I have to have it looking nice when I'm on top of it as well. Oh, chicken chow mein. Can't eat it, unfortunately. I'm gluten-free. So I can't eat chicken chow mein. My wife does a lovely sweet and sour chicken for us. She introduced that to us from Slimming World. And it's gluten-free, and that really is nice. In fact, I think we had it 2 nights ago. Was it last night? Could have been last night. Oh, I don't know. I forget. Okay, see you later, Cat. I might be gone by the time you get back. I'm not really sure. But if not, then I'll probably see you here another time. Hopefully, anyway. Hopefully I haven't bored you. All right, I think we're making some improvement. It's a long way off yet, though. Oh, thanks, June. That's very kind of you. Just try and put the beginnings of this water in here. And it literally will be the beginnings. Very difficult. Just to guide this bit. I'll put a little bit of colour in there and then I'll refine it a little later. Right. Yeah, but I'm like that with ballpoint pens, June. If you saw the amount of ballpoint pens I have, you'd understand. That's gone on there better than I thought it would, so that's nice. I quite like that. It'll be far from finished. That's gone on there really nice. I'm really pleased. Yeah, like that. So this bit here is a little bit less intense. Thanks for Lauren. That's kind of you to say. Hopefully when I get the rest in, that will kind of put that into the background anyway. So do using the Pentels. Oh, that's a big compliment, but I don't know. I have done a picture with the Pentels. It was only a sketch, but they are a little bit of a law unto themselves, aren't they? They're not the worst pastels I've ever used. But like I say, they are a law unto themselves. I'm just sort of fiddling about, putting bits and pieces in where I think they go. And like I say, this will be refined as we go on. I just like to get an idea of the way forward for the next time I'm out. So I'm just going to put a little bit of highlight on this water. This entire picture is being done with the Montmartres, apart from this white, because the white of the Montmartres wasn't quite white enough. So I'm using a Sennelier white, which has its own problems, to be fair. And that Caran d'Ache green, because I lost my other green, didn't I? Let's just... When I'm using my pastels, I turn them, and I end up with these points, so that's quite nice. So if you're doing a big area, keep turning it. And you'll end up with some nice points, and you better put some detail in like this. Won't be easy, but it'll be better. Right, let's get one of my cotton sticks. I can find one. Soften them in. Right, I'm going to call that day for today, and hopefully I'll see you in another video. All right, well, maybe one day you'll get them. Yeah, they are not cheap, unfortunately, but they are very, very, very good. They're my favourite pastels. Anyway, Kat, June, Valerian, I think you are the only people left here now. I'm going to say good day for the moment, and I'm going to come back, I don't know, maybe tomorrow, I'm not going to make any plans. I might just set the camcorder going. But please have a great day, and I will see you next time. Please enjoy your teas, everyone. And I'm going to go and get mine. Anyway, take care. Bye. That's very kind, Valir, and this is why I'm doing it, so that people can see how I paint, and hopefully it will help everybody. Well, eventually, anyway. Took me a long time. Anyway, take care for now. Bye.